talking about Victor Wembanyama and his phenomenal start to the season. This brother has been something serious. We've been saying Wembanyama can be something special. Wembanyama's going to be something fierce. Wembanyama can potentially turn the whole league upside down in a matter of moments once he steps on the NBA floor. But there was some speculation. There was some holding out of hope because, as you all know, we don't just jump on stuff on this show. We give it time to cure. Give it time to breathe. Give it time to breathe. Give it time to fully mold and fully give us an opportunity to see, okay, is this something serious? And is this something to actually latch on to as a legitimate point of view on this young man's career? And talking about Victor Wembanyama as a league breaker, we were saying this could be something serious, but will it actually hold true once he gets to the legitimate NBA season, dealing with big bodies, dealing with starting lineups, dealing with legitimate physicality, legitimate strength, going up against some people that are actually trying? Well, now that that's been answered with his play, we can now say that that's legitimately true. This brother's the real deal. This cat's the truth. Victor Wembanyama is not just a mythical creature that just has some high hopes. No, he's living up to these expectations. And in some ways, outplaying, especially early on in the season. Brother's averaging 20 points, 8 boards, 2.7 blocks. Might as well be 3 blocks a game. He's able to shoot the three, can dribble, legitimately can get to the hole, has been a dominant rim protector on defense, as well as can go out and defend the three-point line on the perimeter, has made people not be able to calibrate him correctly, had people that can't figure out how to shoot over him. He's been a legitimate difference maker for the entirety of the Spurs organization. Thank goodness he went to the Spurs. We're about to see somebody, if everything bodes true, turn into a legitimate savant on both ends of the floor, continuing the legacy potentially of people like David Robertson, of people like Tim Duncan, of people like, to a lesser extent, for when he got onto the team, Artis Gilmore, and other greats that Spurs have had throughout their career. This could be a legitimate sign of a blossoming star with a Hall of Fame trajectory unfolding right in front of us. But he has been so great. But what is it that's made him so great outside of the whole of his skill sets? Yes, like we discovered, he can handle the rock like a guard. He legitimately has speed and agility and mobility. He isn't somebody that is stiff when it comes to moving on the floor. Yes, we know he can shoot from both the mid-range and the three-point line. He can get to the hole. He can play down low. He can catch lobs. But in terms of the dominance of being a tall player, he's taking advantage of it in a way that I didn't think he was going to actually be able to do. Because oftentimes we've seen players shrink when it comes to having a size advantage. And by shrink, I don't mean they play below their level. I'm saying they play below their height. We see players not being able to take advantage of the physical gifts that they have over their opponents, oftentimes relegated to taking shots they don't need to take and getting to spaces on the floor that they don't need to operate on as their main base of working when it comes to being an offensive player. AD, we call on him for a number of years for being somebody you're dominant, you're 6'10", 6'11", athletic, strong, can get to the hole any time that you want, yet you choose to play in the mid-range and shoot fadeaways and three-pointers, which at one point in time might have been viable, but then when it got worse, okay, get to the hole and do what you do best, dominate down low, and he wouldn't do it. You are not playing up to your physical gifts, and you're letting easy opportunities get away from you for no good reason. Victor Wembanyama's not doing it. He's actively utilizing his height to the best of his ability to maximize the physical capabilities that he has at his disposal. And is not letting anything get away from him in terms of, let me not play outside of my game. Though he can do a bunch of stuff, he understands what he's good at. I'm taller than you. Once I get positioning, I can either just do straight up hooks over you, catch lobs over you, or shoot over you. Either way, I'm not going to waste time. And that's the biggest thing that makes Victor Wembanyama so special in this league at this stage in his career. Actually, it's two things. One, his maturity. Operating as the focal point for the Spurs offense, being somebody who is, in essence, being given the keys to the kingdom and being said, okay, now this is your team, this is your organization, you are the main guy. We've seen it get to people's heads and it not work out. We've seen people shrink under pressure. Victor Wembanyama walks with a sense of maturity. Understand, he walks like he's been here before, because he has been here before. He was like this over in France. He was the best player over in France, over in Europe, and overseas as a whole. The main guy. And yet, he was able to consistently produce and come through, being the most dominant force overseas. Now coming over here to the Spurs against the best level of competition. Again, giving those same keys, and again, keeping that same even keel level of maturity. Understanding the moment, understanding what his role is in terms of being the leader of this squad, the vocal point for where everything in this organization will revolve around, and taking it in stride and being able to calmly and confidently operate as such. And we see it with how seamless his transition from playing overseas to playing here has been. Being able to adapt adapting still in his young career to the speed and level of the NBA and how they play. Yet the maturity and IQ of this man at such a young age has been phenomenal to watch. But even bigger than that is his ability to make decisions quickly, like I touched on earlier. The decisiveness of Victor Wembanyama is what has made him such a dominant player at this young age today. This is the man who scored 38 points, 10 boards, and I believe a couple blocks against Kevin Durant and dominated. And it's not just the maturity, it's how he's doing it. And he's doing it similar to what we see from people like Zion Williams. We lauded Zion earlier in his career. We talked about him on the show as well. It's the ability to not waste time, the decisiveness, and his ability to make the move that he wants to make and commit to it. Coupled with the inhuman-like speed and quickness that he has at that height against centers, against power forwards, against people that normally don't have that quick of a first step, he's been able to cook people because he understands that if he wastes time, he's letting go of the physical capabilities that he has at his disposal. It makes no sense at all to have to think about the move that he wants to make rather than just making the move outright. And that's what Victor's been able to do. Taking a page out of Zion Williamson's book and willingly going at his opponents without needing to waste time in thinking about what he wants to do. He sees an opening, he gets to position. He sees that his opponent's behind him. What does he do? Run to the free throw line and hit a turnaround jumper off the catch. Bringing the ball up the floor, and when he goes and you sag off on him, okay, I'm going to shoot it. You play too close to him, okay, I'm going to take it to the hole. I get positioning down low, instant drop step into a layup, finger roll layup, like we saw from Wilt Chamberlain way back in the day, or post hook. Or I got you on the block, where isolation, you're smaller than me, one dribble, shoot it. Or no dribble, pull up instantly. Not wasting any effort, not wasting any energy, not wasting any thought time, trying to decipher what the best move is, rather just make the move. The fluidity of his total game and the ability to make quick decisions without needing to essentially process it, just go, it's incredible. His understanding of the game at this point is phenomenal. Not to mention have the dexterity on defense to be able to guard on the perimeter and down low and recover, defensively disciplined, won't get into a whole bunch of foul trouble, and can run out in transition, can run out on the break, like I talked about earlier, can bring the ball up the floor. This man is he's an anomaly.